Welcome to Pharmacy View, Technology and Pharmacy Business podcast series, where we provide regular interviews with pharmacists and key industry people within the Australian pharmacy and associated industry. In each podcast, we look to discuss aspects of pharmacy operation and how technology is improving or interacting with each guest's current role in pharmacy or pharmacy-related business. I'm your host, Scott Carpenter, and today's guest is Brisbane-based pharmacist Jojo, who is also CEO-founder of myMedKit and Director of Pocket Health. Welcome to our podcast series, Joe.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to the chat.
Great stuff. So, Joe, who is Jojo? Where are you based at the moment? Where have you come from? And what's your kind of business model look like?
Sure. I'm based in Sydney right now because stuck here ever since coming from Queensland. It's a one-way traffic right now. Yeah, so we've got an office here, our office in Brisbane. So we started over there, now expanding a lot of investors and partners over here. So yeah, currently based in Sydney.
Okay. But from my research, you've got a couple of pharmacies in the Brisbane area?
Yeah, I've got one in Brisbane, one Sunny Coast, Maroochydore. So that obviously my background, bought a couple of pharmacies myself. Then I came across a lot of opportunities that I feel like could be improved. And so I built my MedKit initially for myself. So that's how it all started.
So on that basis, my MedKit, which we'll talk about in a bit more detail shortly, is something that you set up and trialed in your own pharmacies.
Yes, yes. It was initially just for me, to be fully frank, honest. Then
Yeah,
when
that's cool.
COVID hit, then I realized this could help a lot of pharmacies. So we started onboarding a lot. So currently got about 100 plus network. So it's been good journey.
Very good. So for anyone listening today, what is MedKit? How does it help a pharmacy from a technology point of view?
Sure. So my MedKit is so there's a pharmacy side and there's a consumer side. So from a consumer side, the consumer can download the app home. They don't need to be in a pharmacy and then upload any prescriptions and order any over-the-counter medications and have it delivered to their home that same day. It's from a pharmacy perspective, why I built this thing. I wanted to solve three problems that I really wanted to address for myself. One is because I was in a medical center and I see a lot of patients that I know. I see the first script, but I wouldn't see the other five repeats. So
Okay.
it became and if you're in a medical center, I think a lot of people can relate to this, that you don't see them, you see them once every 6 months. So I wanted a solution where I can keep the repeats on file and increase that repeat business. If you think about the current system, every app or solution out there is designed for people with 5 medications or more. So, but if there's a lot of people that's on like 2 or 3 medication or 1 medication or 0 medication, how do you make them loyal to your pharmacy? And it's very,
Yes.
very hard to do it, and there's no way to do that really. So this was the first problem I want to solve, to get more scripts on file. Second thing was I hear a lot of we get a lot of people, banner groups, that they come in and tell us, you need to increase your basket size, OTC sales, but that is really easier said than done, especially if you're in a small pharmacy. So I wanted a system where it can sell my e-commerce stuff. And the third one was I didn't have a lot of foot traffic, so I wanted a system where people can come in, not come in, but actually I can get orders without them coming in. So right now, all the solutions on the market or brands, if you don't come in, nothing happens. So.
Yeah. So Joe, if I just kind of repeat that back to you from what I've heard,
Mhm.
in this medical center pharmacy, customer came in predominantly to see the doctor or their specialist. They might have been given a new script in the hand. So as they've walked out, they've come straight to you and said, "Here, could you fill this for me because you're convenient." But then you don't see them again unless they come back to the doctor. So you've been trying to solve this loyalty as opposed to just a one-off transaction.
Yeah, that's one side, but also even if you're like in a strip or just any pharmacy, you get probably 80% of the patients you see in there, customers that
Yes.
they're not 100% loyal to, and there's
Yes.
no real way to get that retention, if you know what I mean. So
Okay. So that's from
and
the pharmacy side.
yeah,
As
and
a,
if you think
yeah.
about if you have a customer script on file and then they want to place an order, they pick up the phone, you get someone to answer it. They go through the 5 scripts and then pick out 3. Then they ask if you have this, if you have this. then you walk around the pharmacy to get that order. So it takes often like 10 minutes or 15 minutes to get the order ready. It's very inefficient. So anyone that works in a pharmacy can really relate to that because that was
Yes. Yep.
very frustrating for me. So.
Okay. So then from the customer perspective, using this app, they can then select other products within the pharmacy in addition to what you might have referred or referenced?
Yes, yes. So my main kit is very simple. It just needs to serve one purpose: increase sales for me, get more scripts on file, increase sales. That was the whole thing why I created it. I didn't want a medication management tool. I didn't want this. I didn't want that. It's just simple scripts on file, simple e-commerce, and just sell because commercially it needs to make sense.
Okay. So is there in terms of an age or a demographic for the customer, is there not preferred customer, but a customer that's embracing this more than others? And is that an opportunity for you?
Yeah, of course. So let me just take a step back and discuss the pharmacy landscape, which will tie in with this. I always like to use this as an example.
Okay.
So if you look at the pharmacy landscape about 10 years ago, every pharmacy was about the same. A pharmacy chemist warehouse didn't actually dominate the market that much. Then, they really came along and dominated the market. And if you think about it, the most profitable customers in the pharmacy are the 65 plus with a lot of scripts that are on concession card. Now, how can Chemist Warehouse dominate the market if all of those patients pay the same thing? So that really means that the people that drives the market are the non-concession card holder, the general patients, are the mums, the carers, the working class. Those people are really the drivers of the patient behavior. So this is, and all the current solutions on the market has been targeted to address the most profitable customers, as well as Chemist Warehouse has really taken the rest of this demographic and built that brand loyalty. And with
Okay.
my
Yep.
MedKit, this is exactly the demographic we're going after.
Okay.
Yes. So any 60, like 75 plus Betty Smith that's living in a nursing home, it's not a competing product. My MedKit doesn't have the features like, for example, like MedAdvisor. The people on a whole lot of medications. We will have those features, but it certainly will be a lot different than what my MedKit offering is. And I think there is an aspect for, if in my pharmacy, I still use MedAdvisor. They're great for the people that are already your customers, that already generate loyalty, and you just, put them on that. But for everybody else, there is no solution. So it does work synergistically together.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. So effectively, they work in partnership with each other, not in competition with each other.
That's correct.
Okay. So you mentioned there'd been quite a few other pharmacies around Australia who had, I guess, contacted you and discussed option of picking up this service. How many locations, or where are you located around Australia?
Yeah, sure. So we're pretty much Australia wide in most capital cities. So we're in Sunshine Coast, obviously Sunshine Coast, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, all the big ones, and then Wollongong, Rockhampton, stuff, places like that. So yeah, we're actually we're not because for us we have a system that offline operation is just as important as the online operation. So for
Okay.
us, it's actually we don't. It's not the more pharmacy the better for us because we have one pharmacy per region. The reason for that is we need to bring enough pharmacy to that the business to that pharmacy rather than having two very close together. So we're very sort of strict on because we need people to be able to follow the sort of my medkit branding to give that user experience. Because
Okay.
if you think about every pharmacy does delivery, it's about how you do it. It's like Zoom. When Zoom became so popular, there was so many video conferencing software out there, but Zoom became very successful because it's how they do the video conferencing. Pharmacy delivery has always been done to a time that's convenient for the pharmacy, not the consumer. So the
Yes.
first fundamental issue that my medkit addresses is the user picks the time. Then the second thing is they get their specific merchandise, not to standard pharmacy packaging. Then they get GPS tracking to their door. They see the driver coming. So all of those things that come together really create a user experience that once they like using it, they will continue to use it.
They feel more comfortable with it, almost like the change from taxis to the Uber service as such.
Yeah, that's correct. It's at the end of the day, it's all about the patient.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just confirming then what you mentioned before then. So if a pharmacist was interested in this platform,
Mhm.
if they're already in a catchment where you've got a pharmacy utilizing the service, then there's unlikely that you would give that to any other pharmacy within that area. But if
That's
you've got a
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
that's correct. But if a pharmacist was listening today that's in a potentially a high competitive area, and there's not someone already in that area, this could be a point of difference for their service and business model.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, the most ideal situation for us are the pharmacy that has 3 or 4 chemist warehouse around. So
Oh yeah, no,
one of the things
sorry,
you'll
yeah,
notice is, sorry,
no,
what are
I
you
got
going
to
to say?
say that's what I think. What I was suspecting there is that
Yeah.
great model for a high competitive area.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. myMedKit, it's great because in those areas there's a very large demographic of people. And also one thing we should all understand about Chemist Warehouse customer base is that they're actually not that loyal. So the when you have a business model built on discounting, you don't generate loyalty. So those areas where there's one pharmacy surrounded by 3 chemist warehouse, it is a perfect area. And we've noticed we take a lot of repeats of chemist warehouse backings when we do the delivery. So yeah, it's been very encouraging.
From that perspective. Okay. And you mentioned with the delivery service, is this, do you contract the delivery service or is the pharmacy provide that delivery service? How does that work?
Sure. So the delivery is integrated into the farm's existing delivery time slot. We don't use a courier because we have a separate system that is better than what's already out there. So we train the pharmacy. The pharmacy can have any assistant that's even a junior or just someone upcoming or even they don't really need to invest in anyone because you can have one delivery slot day or two and then just have your existing staff doing it until the volume picks up. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I came in from a pharmacy background. I know this makes commercial sense to a pharmacy because I started with my pharmacy. So it's about how you do it.
No, I understand that. So you mentioned earlier on then that obviously the current COVID environment saw a lot more interest in this because we had to go to this contactless service or limiting contact. What specific changes has that driven for you and your businesses and this platform?
Yeah, I mean, pharmacy delivery has was a service that most people didn't know that existed. And I think it's great because the whole community now, all pharmacies does some sort of delivery, and we all need to adapt. But then it comes down to how you do it. Is like I kept on emphasizing that it's that user experience. If they pick up the phone, call you, and then you deliver it after work. And then they give you cash or pay over the credit card. It's not a 21st century solution where you kind of consumers are used to. People like using their phone, just a couple taps and the order's there for them. So that and it it's not just about delivering that order. If you think about the patient experience in pharmacy, someone that's on chemo treatment or someone that's on high blood pressure gets exactly the patient journey as someone that's antibiotic or someone that just have a cut or scratch. So I think what we really want to do with this platform going forward is using AI to achieve precision medicine, to recommend those products, those medicines to the consumers, that it almost acts as a automated sales assistant for the pharmacy. So they don't have to train each of the salesperson to sell. This thing should sell for the pharmacy. It should give the patient a different user experience based on the disease and the medication they're on. So that's what we really want to achieve. And I don't believe the current pharmacy model where everyone just go discount, and retail and sell. It's everyone's doing the same thing.
And I'm sure you'll get a lot of support for that in terms of a differentiation away from price. So coming back to the online portal, if I can, because I've
Mhm.
been speaking with a few people, obviously from a technology point of view, and the e-commerce platforms. We're certainly getting a lot of feedback lately that if a customer doesn't get immediacy or see immediacy of their transaction online,
Hmm.
i.e., if it means that they have to wait for a response or if they have to wait for a call, then they
Hmm.
appear to be less comfortable. So what you're saying to me is that myMedKit, once
Hmm.
they complete the transaction, gives them immediacy and comfort in that, yes, my script is being prepared, yes, my product is being selected, and it's going to be delivered in this time frame, and my credit card or my payment portal's already been charged. That's what you're
That's
saying, isn't
that's correct. It's the same reason why people use Uber Eats or Menulog rather than calling up a particular restaurant and then say, can't pay this over the phone, bring me the pizza or something. You know, if you want a burrito, you wouldn't call up your local or whatever the Mexican restaurant, Guzman Gomez, and ask them to bring that over. You
it? Yeah,
just wouldn't do that.
because in some instances you're not really sure what the delivery time or what even delivery service they're offering. However, if you order it through the Uber Eats service, you know
Yeah,
immediately what you've ordered, what time you're going to get it, and that the payment's been made. Okay,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
that makes sense.
Uh,
So,
yeah,
all
sure.
right, no, there you go.
And I think we really care because of my background. I really care that this needs to make commercial sense to the pharmacy. Like one of the frustrating things for me was that forced me to create this was because I talked to so many groups out there, the buying groups, the chains. Look, to be fully honest, their offering is very similar. Everyone's offering the same thing. It's just buying power, catalogs, planograms. That's for me that didn't warrant the $1,000 per month or fee that they charge. And to be honest, if all of those things, you can increase basket size, you can do the best merchandise and whatever. If you don't have people walking through your store, no,
Yes,
I'm sorry, no matter what you do, it's not going to happen. Even with
yeah,
MedAdvisor, if you don't have foot traffic, I'm sorry, it doesn't work. And and the final thing is, if beside Chemist Warehouse, if all the other pharmacies change their brand overnight, I bet you people does not even realize.
yes,
With the reason I think my medkit exists is because I think every solution on the market is focused on medication management. It's focused on the older generation. It's been focusing on the same thing that everyone else is focusing on, right? Whereas Chemist Warehouse was the only one that focused on what consumer wants. Well, consumer, don't get me wrong, people 65 plus have a different need to the rest of the market.
yes,
But the mass market, right? What they want is that they want convenience. And surveys have all shown that multiple times convenience is the most driven factor. That's why there is medical center pharmacies exist. They want convenience. They want they want value, not so much price, but value.
yes,
And also people value the just simplicity. Like picking up a phone, calling is too complicated for this today consumer. If people can't do everything in 3 seconds, people switch off. So anything that helps people save time is a winner. And then it's about working from that backwards and how you get people to save that time. So I really think I want to the pharmacy owners and industry sort of people to understand the offering. Whereas, because when we present this to a lot of pharmacies, we find a lot of owners, they straightly ask, how does this different to MedAdvisor when they have the Snap and Send, when they have the e-commerce, you can buy stuff in it. Like, how does it differ? And I think this is why we don't onboard all the pharmacies, is because
yes,
our offline operation is just like if it doesn't work for the pharmacy, it doesn't work for us. We're not selling a subscription like MedAdvisor where we just sell it to you and if it doesn't work, we still get the money. But if it doesn't work for the pharmacy, it's not going to work for the patient. Therefore, it doesn't work for us.
yes.
So that's really important for us.
Yeah. So again, just to confirm that with the other script management programs, there's a monthly fee, which you
Mhm.
pay. It might be scaled based on volume, but you effectively pay a fixed fee each month. What you're saying with yours is that yours is based on transactions, and so therefore, the more users, the more comfortable the users, the more transactions there are, the more everyone benefits.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not just about that, but also we do have, with the Pocket Health membership thing, people can get a free website. free, like a lot of it's like a digital packet, digital group, if you like. And the core product, obviously, anyone can start using it, and there's no charge for it unless if you don't make money, we don't make money. It's very simple. But there
Yes.
are so many. If you want us to do the advertising marketing budget, if we you want a free website, you want digital social media SEO, all of those services, that's where we really excel at. And I think again it comes back to our selection criteria for the pharmacy. I mean, even though we're in capital cities, there's still a lot of ground that we haven't covered. And for us, right now we're heavily focused on our existing pharmacies and really try and make it worthwhile for them because we can't it's not practical for us to start marketing all around the country, every single location.
Yes.
And that's the ideal situation. But our pharmacy partners really need to believe in this and really need to see value that they're the only pharmacy in the area that can use this, and how can they tailor this to increase their front of shop sales and their scripts on files. MedAdvisor can't really do that if they don't come into your store. MedAdvisors, I'm saying MedAdvisor not because I see them as a competition. I actually don't see them as a competition, but rather than a synergy product. But just because
Yes.
most pharmacists is familiar with MedAdvisor and they need to understand the difference. MedAdvisor's interface is not an e-commerce interface. People is not going to like go in there and look for products. It's very, very difficult. And it's all about making it simple for the consumer. That's it at the end of
Yeah.
the day.
And Joe, you mentioned a bit earlier on with the customer interface or transaction that there was a bit of AI potentially involved.
Yeah.
Are you then saying that the platform recommends product based on the script, or how have you built
Yes.
that?
Yes. So the platform AI is the continuous working in progress based on the amount
Yes.
of data we have and obviously the amount of transactions we have. Then the system and the algorithm can recognize, okay, I'm a patient. I'm here in front of me. I've just bought this. I would like, rather than me saying, okay, here's your antibiotic. Would you like a probiotic with that? It'll just suggest it automatically. So if people buy, when sometimes they only need one script through the app, and they end up buying like three or four different things because it's that e-commerce to AI driven algorithm that could give them more sales, which is what I
Yes.
really wanted. It's that virtual sales assistant. I think is brilliant.
Yeah, from that perspective. Okay. And you started to mention before there's a couple of other services available to potential members through the Pocket Health platform. Just talk to me a bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, you can think of us as a digital membership group that we're really focused on anything of your pharmacy's digital presence. So, myMedKit it serves the problem that I just mentioned. Then the other offerings like, social media, search engine optimization, make you rank first on, in that particular area, so all the other pharmacies it's not cannot compete with you when people search. Then it's about getting a free website through our thing. I think the people charge a little bit too much for the website out there on the market these days, and
Yes.
for simple information websites it shouldn't cost that much. In our membership program you get a free website, so just all of those things. And we have some great deals and networks. And I just feel like there should be more value to a pharmacy that joining any particular banner group or buying group. Then
Or
I feel like everyone is trying to rip off the pharmacies, and I really don't like that. That
no,
frustrates me.
I understand. So if I use a similar example, we talk about bricks and mortar stores and virtual online businesses.
Hmm.
Almost you're a digital you said you used the word digital membership group. So
Hmm.
you could say bricks and mortar membership groups and
Hmm.
brands, but you're
Hmm.
really purporting here to be a digital membership group or a digital brand.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think people that join our brand really need to get it. If you don't get it, if you don't understand it, if you don't understand the change in consumer behavior, where the trend is going, we prefer to not waste everyone's time. So we only work with pharmacies that we know that we can add value to.
Makes sense. And again, it would then become potentially their point of difference in their marketplace and
Yeah.
beneficial if you've got a lot of competition in the area.
Yeah, I mean, we only have one pharmacy in each area, so we have to be very careful with who we select. And if it is a massive, massive advantage to that pharmacy that does come on board because it gives them a straight point of difference. It's not something that everyone's using.
Yeah, no, that's good. Joe, look, that's been great to chat with you today. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover off before we summarise and wrap up?
I think I've mentioned from a pharmacy perspective most of the features of the product, and from a consumer side, I think the industry is changing. I think everything is digital, e-prescriptions, how that's going to play out, how all these telehealth is going to play out, and we have some great things in the pipeline with all of those things, and I think our job is to make our pharmacy members get some real benefit and not having ripped off by these big corporates because I feel for the little guy. I really do.
No, I understand that. So, Joe, we'll obviously put some links to your website and businesses on this podcast summary page. But if someone listening today was interested in touching base with you, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Yeah, I mean, our website's myMedKit.com.au. They can send us a contact us message. My direct email is joe@pockethealth.co. So they can email me through that. If they want to have a chat, to see whether there are areas available or whether there's something, they want to explore, we're happy to have that conversation. But like I said, we don't accept everybody as we really focus on our existing network. We definitely want to grow as well. So if you're you know, we're not definitely not accepting that. We're
Yep,
just emphasizing that there is sort of a brand sort of guideline for the consumers because ultimately people are using myMedKit. myMedKit is a pharmacy for them, and if the user experience doesn't happen, then we lose the user. So it's
correct.
not
Yeah.
ideal for us.
Yeah, not just in that area, but potentially nationally, etc. So no, I understand that. So, Joe, that's been great to chat today. Be great to chat with you again in a month or two's time about pocket health as well. But I hope the listeners today have learned some things. I certainly have learned some things from the discussion today, and look forward to staying in touch.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for your time.